question is, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus responds, we can take many different views, and what we learn from society is that there is a value to some things, but in the kingdom there are different values. It is not how much money, how much power, how much influence, how many, all of these other things that our society values and puts such great importance on. In the kingdom, there are other values. And for his disciples who may have been jockeying for position, who of them might be the most important? Who would receive something for their faithfulness, for what they have given up? Jesus gives them another model. And he brings a child who has no voice, a child who has no power, a child who depends on others for everything. And this will be the model, that what we receive from God, we receive as children, not that we can repay God for anything that we have received. In our lives, it is important for us to take stock of what is the value in our lives. We don't want to come to the end and find that we have been chasing after the wrong things. Think carefully about what the values of the kingdom are. Then in the hierarchy of things that you wish to acquire, where do they fit? Today we celebrate the feast of St. Teresa Benedicta of the Cross, otherwise known as Edith Stein, a woman who converted to Catholicism, entered the Discalced Carmelites, and eventually was martyred by the Nazis during the Second World War. She is a person who the Church looks up to as a model during such a horrible time in the history of humanity, particularly in Europe. This was a woman who was seeking God with all of her heart, putting aside everything to dedicate herself to the religious life in the Discalced Carmelites, a religious community, yet taken away, and she was murdered because of her Jewish background. Yet today we celebrate her as a person who knew what her heart wanted, communion with God, and she suffered the death of a martyr. Values. What she valued, the Church says she has received and given us an example. She set aside everything in her pursuit of God, yet was given the crown of a martyr, perhaps that no one would want to reach out and to take for themselves. But she has given the world a wonderful example of seeking what our heart desires. St. Teresa Benedicta of the Cross, pray for us.